All right, we're going to hope that that addresses it. Look with me now at the church in Thyatira and what was going on well in the church at Thyatira in verse 19. This is crucial. The church at Ephesus, once upon a time, had been doing very well, living their faith publicly, serving their neighbors, caring for the poor, etc. The church at Thyatira, and then they had dwindled off and faded away. Now in verse 19, Jesus says, I know your deeds, your love and faith, your service and perseverance, and that you are now doing more than you did at first. Jesus is pleased with this church because they are growing in their ability and their willingness to serve others. They are growing in the way that they are caring for the poor. This is a church that, metaphorically speaking, they were sending groups to the soup kitchens once a week. This was a group that was doing clothing drives for the poor. This was a church that was sending their youth group on mission trips and service projects. They were living out their faith. This was a church that took to heart Jesus' word, or the words of James that says, faith without works is dead. The church at Thyatira took that to heart, and they lived out their faith in a way that was very public. You remember that in the book of Revelation, the churches are sometimes described as lampstands. Now, what is a lampstand? A lampstand is something that bears witness to the light, which is Jesus, and by bearing witness to the light, they are living that out in a way that gives. Maybe we have. We'll do our best. The church at Thyatira was through their actions was serving as a light to everyone around. And Jesus was pleased with this church. The church at Thyatira was a lampstand bearing witness to the light of Christ. They were serving for the common good. Jonathan Edwards, the preacher of the Second Great Awakening, he summarizes this so well. He actually says, and I believe it's found in his religion. He says, the acid test of a heart with its affections truly raised toward God is love for one's neighbor working for the common good in society. What Jonathan Edwards is saying with the church